Welcome to the 25th video of the Zero to Hero series. We made it this far, that's awesome. In the past few weeks, we have covered a tremendous amount of ground. We learned so many things, and so it felt like the 25th video could be a really good moment to sort of stop briefly and kind of review everything that we went through. And so in the 18th video, we had a major lecture on 3D modeling. And so you saw me working through a time lapse while I 3D modeled this coffee maker, which is the Mocha Express from the Italian brand Bialetti. And at the end of that video, I challenged you to go ahead and test your skills by 3D modeling this other coffee maker from the same brand. This model is called the Bialetti Venus. And so I thought that today we could take a look at this one together as we walk through all the things that we have covered. So I don't want this to be a very long video, but at the same time, I want to make sure we connect all the dots. So let's start at the very beginning. I believe it was lesson number 2 when we talked about the fact that when we are in Blender, we are in our own workspace, and that workspace is modular. And so the key concept that you should have retained is that idea of modularity, which is a theme that keeps coming back in Blender. In fact, we later on in video number 3 talked about how to move around, and we said that with the middle mouse you orbit around, and when you hold shift you sort of pan around, and by now you should have built up those 3D navigation muscles and should be able to navigate quite comfortably in the 3D space. We surely had a lot of exercises about that. Hopefully you downloaded the free project templates that I told you about in video number 5 that contain all those neat little projects to help you become acquainted with the 3D navigation commands. And later on, I believe in video number 8, we learned how to move objects. So we select them with a left click, G to grab them, move them around, R to rotate them, and S to scale them. And as you can see, I have here my reference images, and they are just like any other object, so I can move them around, rotate them, scale them, and so on. And later on, I believe it was video number 10, we learned about pivot points, and right now I am in 3D cursor, which is not the best option for the moment, and so I will go back to median point so that objects rotate pretty much the way I expect them to. And I think it's about time that we get started with this object. So if you remember in video number 13, we talked about primitive meshes, which you can bring up by pressing Shift+A, mesh. And I would start with a circle because this is definitely a circular shape, right? And now that I have my circle, which is huge, I'm gonna press Shift 0.1 to scale it to 1/10, and then I'm gonna press my full stop on the numpad to sort of focus onto it, and now I'm pressing G, Z to bring it up a little bit, and I have already set up pretty much my image reference where I wanted to and at the scale that I wanted to. Just a few videos ago we talked about scaling things to the appropriate measure, and right now I am working in the same file where we modeled the other coffee maker, so I know that roughly this is the appropriate size. And so let's take a look at this object, right? Every object is different, and so every object requires its own approach. In lesson 18, I talked about so many things, and surely at one point I mentioned the fact that 3D modeling is a personal approach. There are endless ways of solving the same problem. Today, the way that I think I'm gonna go about this is the following. I have now created a circle for myself, and we just said that things are modular in Blender. So I'm gonna go into edit mode. I'm gonna press Shift+D, which is to duplicate, and I believe we talked about it in video 17. And then I'm gonna press Z to bring up the duplicated edge loop, the duplicated circle. And now I have a copy of that circle that has the same exact number of vertices and edges. And like we said, we are now into edit mode, but things are modular. So I can use the same exact commands like G and R to rotate the selection, just like I would do in object mode. And so the way I'm gonna go about this is I'm gonna try to find an angle that I kind of like. I'm gonna press S to scale it a little bit. Remember that this is a photo, so it's not a perfect drawing. As you can see, it's taken a little bit from above the object. You can see a little bit of the top section here. So there's definitely some perspective distortion. So we're gonna take it as a reference, but we know that this is not an absolute truth. So I'm gonna find an angle about like this one that feels kind of right. And then I'm gonna press Shift+D once again, and I am in full orthographic side view, so I'm not gonna worry too much about how it goes up. And I'm gonna scale it a little bit, and I'm gonna position it like this, and I'm gonna call it a day. So very simply, I made for myself 3 edge loops, and now, like we learned in video 17, I'm gonna press 2 to bring myself into edge selection. I'm gonna press down Alt, select the whole ring, Shift Alt to select also the other one, right click, and we talked about bridge edge loops. And then I'm gonna repeat the same action for this one and this one, and then bridge edge loop. Okay, and we already cleared the top. Now, we don't wanna rush, but at the same time, I think we can do like something like this, where we fill this up, then press I to insert a face, like we learned about also in video 17. And I'm gonna use it to create for myself a little bit of this edge that I see over here, although it's very, very thin, because I know that then this thing comes back down at an angle, and then we have the lid, right? We have this sort of shape. And so I'm gonna create for myself that space, and then I don't need this face anymore at the moment. Or maybe I do. Maybe I'm gonna keep it. Press E to extrude, Z to extrude it down, and S to scale it. And I think we had the right move. I'm gonna check from the X-ray side that we did a good job, and we didn't yet, so I'm gonna manually align it a little bit like this. Again, right now I'm just trying to nail the rough proportions of it. I'm not gonna worry too much about precise measurements or capturing all the precise details. This is just a general review, like an excuse to review all the commands. And I'm gonna press Tab to go in object mode, right click, shade smooth, modifier, add modifier, generate, subdivision surface. This is gonna smooth things over a little bit, but we will need some more edge loops over here. I don't need the X-ray anymore. And to avoid confusion, I'm gonna deactivate it for a minute. Control R, edge loop, Control R, edge loop, Control R, edge loop, and this time I'm gonna bring it up to, let's call it 1.85. Let's check it, and that looks good. Now about this section over here, I'm gonna press down Alt, select the whole thing, right? And I'm gonna call it E for extrusion, S to scale it in place. And if you check it without the subdivision, we just did that. And then I'm gonna do it once more. And then this thing is gonna need an edge loop over here. So I'm gonna call it -0.85. Let's check it. Looking good. It may need a little bit more help. So let's put one more over here. And it looks good for the moment. And since we are already in material preview, I'm gonna bring myself to the material tab in the properties editor. We discussed the properties editor in video 13. And right here, I'm gonna click on new to create for myself a new material. I'm gonna name it M for material underscore copper. And while I am at it, I'm gonna press plus to create another slot, new to create another material, and call it M underscore, or let's call it chrome. That looks pretty much like chrome. And for the moment, we are good. I'm gonna bring up this editor, which is already on the shader editor. I'm gonna highlight and select the copper one. And I'm gonna try and find something that looks like the one I want. I would say that this should do it for the moment. While we're at it, we can bring this one like this and move on. So for this part, there is obviously a gap. It's not that big. So maybe we can go in, press 3 to select the faces, Alt and select this one, Shift and select this one. And we might want to check that we have everything that we need. And we do. So from here, I am gonna press O for the proportional editing, G, make it bigger, Z, and I'm gonna bring it down just a tiny bit out of edit mode, and that looks good enough for the moment, although it's not perfect. There's a little bit too much radius, but that is fine for the moment. We just need to go and move forward. The other part, I am going to do it in a separate object for the moment. Again, super big circle S.1 to bring it down. Right now it is at ground level, so I'm gonna guess something like this, which is slightly wider than this top section right here. And I'm gonna go into edit mode, F to fill it in, ES to scale it. Now this might be tricky because when you do that, sometimes, yes, now I have created the face that I wanted, but I have a duplicate, and you can kind of spot it because there is that weird artifact that happens when you have two geometries perfectly overlapping and Blender is not really sure what should be rendered first. So I'm gonna hide the one that I want, select the one that I don't want, X, faces, Alt H, and now I only have what I need. To be double sure, I'm gonna press A, M by distance, and we're all good. Now I'm gonna select the extreme edge loop, go back into side view, E, Z, S. I forgot the proportional editing, so I'm gonna turn it off, pressing O once again, S, so now I'm scaling it. And so as you can see, it's more of the same. Again, in lesson 18, one of the remarks was that 3D modeling is definitely about repetition in many ways. So it's more of the same commands. All the commands are modular, you know, it's always G, S, and R. And you just have to sort of like go about making the right strings of operations, but that's just it, you know? So let's not lose the focus. I'm gonna bring in the subdivision surface at this point. I think it's a good moment to introduce it. Once again, E, Z, S, G, Z, S, and I'm gonna play with it a little bit. Again, remember that this is a perspective, so it's gonna try and deceive you. And I'm gonna play with this a little bit more, see if I can find the kind of angle that I want. This could be good enough for the moment. I am gonna select this one, ES, ES, and now I have created for myself this section. I'm gonna go Tab, Shade Smooth, bring this one up to 3, and I already have created M_Chrome, so I'm gonna select it from here, and there you have it. And this is looking okay. Not perfect. We are missing something. There is some tension over here that it's missing. And also we are going to fix now this edge that it's starting to bother me. And so remember, in lesson 18, I also talked about feeling. Does it feel right? So you have to develop this kind of sense about how does it feel? Does it feel right? Does it feel like that is what you're after? And so once again, I am playing with the edge loops, trying to find the right angle for it. I am taking a look without the overlay. It's not right, but it's also not miles away. And another thing we discussed in video 18, which again was a major one, so of course we talked about so many things, was the fact that iteration is key. So we're not gonna obsess too much about it. I'm gonna play with it a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to decide when it is good enough. Like right now it's good enough for the moment. And now what I am going to do is select this inner loop, EZ, bring it up a little bit, EZ, and bring it up a whole lot more. And then one more for the road, and here we are, and have ourselves this part pretty much solved. And let's see where we left things here. So this one, probably we can press E to go down once again, just to have some extra loops here to close the thing. We can get rid of this face, but we might have a use for it later on. So one thing that we learned about in video 17 is P separate selection. Now it's an object of its own. And so if we take a look at it now, we sort of have the beginning of the lid. And then let's take care very quickly of the handle. And so probably this is a good time to call out the fact that I have a lot of reference images. In fact, take a look at the sheer number of reference images that I've used so far. So as part of the 3D modeling job is the task of finding your own reference images. Again, in video 18, we spoke a lot about the fact that reference images are the bane of your own existence because they're never good enough, but they are also essential to get the job done. So I guess if you don't have at least 3, you're doing it wrong, okay? So if you don't have reference images, stop, go find them and come back. Don't try and wing it because it's just gonna make your life miserable. Now, this handle over here, pretty flat over here, comes down here. There's definitely a bevel over here. It's rounded over here. And so we are going to go about this the same exact way we went about it the last time. I'm gonna create a plane, Shift+A, tab, 1, M, at center, side view, and now I have for myself a pretty vertex. G, I'm gonna move it around, E, extrude it, bringing the subdivision surface, move it to 3, bring in the cage, and I'm gonna try to roughly match the curvature. Oops. And here we go. And E to extrude it. And every time you extrude it, you kind of want to adjust the previous one because we are using a Catmull-Clark scheme. And so it is creating an interpolation with the new vertex also. So we talked about Catmull-Clark schemes in the video number 14. We went pretty much in depth with this subdivision modifier. You should know the ins and outs of it. And I would say that this side is done. All right. So I'm going to press A, shift it, duplicate it, S to scale it. Once again, if you've done a good job, don't do it again. Duplicate it, recycle whatever you can. That was also a lesson in video 18. I'm gonna make some adjustments here, but because they are the exact same number of vertices, I already know that they're gonna connect in a way that makes sense to me. And let's see, right now I'm gonna press 2, select everything, step out of the side view. Again, big lesson in the video number 18 was move around a lot, don't stay in place too much, don't stay in the same place for too long or you're gonna get tricked. And let's see. Let's hide this one for a moment. And I spy with my little eye that this goes in. So it's kind of hugging the cylinder. And so this tells me that we are going to have to work from the top view also. And at the same time, this kind of looked very flat from this perspective. And so once again, let's remember that this is not a true side view. It's a perspective. So this is going to trick us. So my guess is that after we connect this, we will have to push this up a little bit to kind of like flatten it out. In fact, what I did here is I followed this line. This is where it starts to become flat again. So truth be told, there is another line just over here, and this is a big fat bevel. So this is also gonna trick us. So let me do that just now. I am going to duplicate this one again and bring it down just a little bit, like here. 1 G. And that looks good enough for the moment. I'm gonna select this one, bring it back like here. Double tap G, scale it back. This looks good. Double tap G. I am bringing myself ahead in massaging the geometry. Remember when we talked about topology flow in video 15, right? So now we have that section that is pretty much cleared. This one is gonna belong over here. That looks about right. This is a good moment to bring in the mirror modifier. We are going to learn from our past mistakes. So if you remember in video 18, it took me a minute to remember that I had my order mixed up. I'm going to change the axis to Y because we are mirroring over Y. And if I'm not mistaken, it was video number 7 when we talked about the gizmo. So we always have our gizmo over here that is color coded, and also the axis over here. So we know that we need to mirror across Y. And we want to mirror because we need to establish how wide things are. For example, right now I am guessing that this is about right. Now, it's kind of hard to tell because once again, we don't have the best reference images. We never do. But my wild guess is that this thing is going to taper off just a tiny bit over here. So what I'm going to do right here is press R and taper it just a tiny bit. And that is probably just fine. And also we can start to work a little bit from the top view. So I'm gonna start connecting things with F. I'm gonna deactivate the subdivision modifier because it's not helping right now. And so, like I was saying, this thing needs to hug the radius. It needs to hug the cylinder. So it's gonna look something like that from the top. That is probably good enough. And let's see. Here we have another change of plane, although the sort of radius of the bevel is much bigger. Right now, if I try and select everything, and I mean this part, it's gonna actually select everything, like everything, because I've connected them. So I'm gonna hide this one for the moment, select the part that I'm interested in, Shift+D, duplicate, never do the job twice if you can recycle. It's good for the planet and also good for you. I'm gonna scale it a little bit. And right now, again, save yourself some time. I'm gonna change this to active element. I'm gonna select this one as my active element, and now I'm scaling from that point of view. Work smart, not hard. And scale it a little bit like this. That looks just about right. And then I'm gonna hide everything else. Yes. Hide 1, 0. And I'm gonna do some proportional editing. And let's see. I think that maybe we can bring this one here. Yeah. Okay, now is a good time to slow down just a tiny bit so we make sure that we don't do the job twice later. And so let's think it through. Let's make sure that we are not missing stuff. So we have these faces that talk. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, and this is okay. Okay, this is good. This is good. We are going to select this one, duplicate it, turn off the proportional editing, scale, and scale like this. This looks quite good, actually. This is gonna calm down a tiny bit more. And let's see, at one point we are going to have to go back to the mirroring point. So I'm gonna duplicate this, scale it, oops, Ctrl Z, G, and now it's a good time to bring back the subdivision modifier 1. We don't have the best visibility conditions. That is just fine. That is not gonna stop us. We are good. Okay. So at this point, we will need to think about how we are going to go about this. So let's take a look. So what we have is that we're coming down as a radius like this, but we are also coming down with a rounded edge here on the other plane. So, and look at that. This is good. Okay, so this is coming down like this. We can start to think about it. So, before we forget, let's bring this one all the way back to the middle. Now, here is where clipping comes handy. I'm going to activate clipping, G, Y, push it all the way, and the mirror modifier is gonna do the job for me. That is how you use the clipping, and this looks good. Okay, this looks good. It's all fine. And so I think we can start to talk about extending this one into this kind of curve. Just like this, and connect it over here. Yes. Okay, and then we can kind of fix it. Actually, it just turned out to be perfectly fine. Okay, so we have this curve right now, and now we need this one. Okay, and it's not gonna be too hard, but also it's not gonna be trivial because this is actually coming down flat on its own. So actually we are going to use V to separate this one. Get rid of it. So let's do like this. Okay, so let's say that this is the lowest point of the circle. Then this thing is gonna start probably over here. So we're gonna bring this back up over here. And we are going to approach this like this. E, E, and F. And then I'm gonna play with it a little bit. Now, if we want this to be flat, which we do, we're going to align it with vertex snapping like this. So if you see it without the subdivision, it's perfectly flat. Okay, this looks good enough. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so then what we're going to do is what we are going to create for us this part that is missing, just like that. And we are going to repeat the operation. In fact, never do the job twice. I'm gonna duplicate this, keep the angle, duck, 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 and we connect them. Now this, of course, is gonna mess up the side view because that is not how it's meant to move, but that's fine. It only takes a second to fix it like this. Right on. And we're good to move on. This and this go together. So at center, this looks just fine. This one wants to go here. So at last, again, this is all stuff that we covered many times. I guess we talked about merging stuff somewhere around video 23, something like that. And now I'm gonna press Shift+N to make sure we recalculate the normal just as an excess of caution. And now that we have our wireframe coming together, what am I gonna do? Next up, I am going to Next up, I'm gonna start making my faces, and we can do the rest once we have some surfaces. And so here we might start to introduce a couple of edge loops so that everything checks out. And I definitely forgot about a vertex over there. I moved too fast, but that is fine. Let's figure it out. So I'm gonna press Ctrl R, bring a vertex here, G, scale it down, and now I have my count matching up. And now I'm gonna fix it from the other view. So this, of course, doesn't look right. So this needs to go a little bit like this, this like this, this like this, this like this. Actually, no. This one needs to stay flat. This one should also be flat. So this one needs to go this way. This is right, like this, and like this. And now it looks much better. Yes, it's coming together. And let's see. Let's continue over here. Oop. Oop. And this is looking good. A Shift+N. And I am thinking that probably I could have used a bridge edge loop to do a lot of the job for me. I didn't think about it, but at the same time, I think it's also fine because a slightly slower approach, sometimes it's just fine to go a little bit slower and make sure you just do things right once rather than having to do them twice. And I am guessing that right here we are missing some edge loops that are critical. And so now we are going to really think this through. And see how we can go about this. So the way I would go about it is to first of all figure out this section. This is probably what is going to bring the 3D model home. Right here. This is how we solve it. So we need to extend this one on Y, GY, and then we are going to align to this one. And then we have this, and now what I am going to do is hide this piece, select this one, E, Y, snap it over here, Alt H, and again, all of these are shortcuts that we have covered through the videos. It's gonna take a minute to click in, but it's all stuff that you already know. You just have to develop the instinct to know when to sort of resort to certain approaches. This is all looking good, just fine. And now it has become clear that we are missing something over here, right, to guide this transition. And so I would say that probably we can recycle everything that is up to this point. So I'm going to Shift+D, Y, bring it like this. Then I'm going to go into side view, G, bring it up, S, Y, and right now we still are in active element. We're going to switch back to medium point, Shift X, scale it a tiny bit. That looks fine. I'm going to rotate it, maybe a touch, just like that. That's fine. And this one, of course, needs to start coming in. And we could use the proportional editing, but we have so few vertices that I'm actually gonna just do it by hand. And of course, the flow needs to match. So I'm gonna bring this down. I'm gonna bring this down. And this is just fine. We are gonna relax it a little bit more later. If you remember this one really needs to be way more inside. So it helps to define the circle. I would guess just a tiny bit like this should be enough. And let's see if I was right. Okay, so yeah, kind of looks good. We can work with that. And let's see. Let's connect some things. See how things pan out. Oh, something's missing here. Okay, let's go back. All right. Let's move down from the top. This one goes this one. This one goes with this one. This one needs to slide. And this one goes with this one with this one. And this one needs to slide. And I think we can... No, let's leave it like that. And so you can see that it is a process. I've never 3D modeled this thing. And every time you model something new, it's always, like There's always some level of unexpected things. You just have to work through them. Once again, iteration is key. So here we have what we were missing before. And so we need to stop and figure it out. So this thing probably is missing the fact that we didn't model from this perspective. That's the mistake, because this thing needs to come in. So what we're missing here is some action that goes this way. That is the problem. And so the way we are going to figure it out is that we are going to introduce a loop here, because I still need it to come down like this. And maybe we will not keep it, maybe we will. Let's see how it pans out. But this one definitely needs to go in. Okay. And let's see. Yes, probably we don't need it, so we can go back and dissolve that edge. That's fine. And then I'm gonna need to make this connection. And I forgot about this piece, so that is also fine. I'm gonna go GY. And this is okay. This is one of those moments where you improvise a little bit, but it's fine because this is a low amount of poly. You can dance with it. Not a big deal. Everything is gonna turn out just fine. Okay, so let's see. We have something here that is not matched here. That is fine. That will come through later on. I think at this time we can bring back this one before we forget about it. Okay, so clearly this is coming down too fast. Okay, that is fine. So I would say that we can extrude this one sideways. And so we have been working at this one for a minute now. And of all the things, maybe it was obvious, maybe it was not obvious that this would turn out to be... Okay, let's focus. Okay, this one looks like this. This one should probably be here. Here, we can fix that later. Okay. Shift F. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. We can work with that. This, of course, needs to come back this way a tiny bit. This should be flat. This doesn't look totally right. Maybe we go like this and we fix it this way. Okay. And maybe this one goes like this. Okay, and let's see. Time to solve this part. We are actually gonna delete these edges, okay? And let it come together like this. Whoop. 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 And we are going to need something here. And whoop. And also now we need something over here. So let's see. How can we go about this? So I have used V to separate that because I have a feeling that I want the flow to go this way. And then I'm going to fix this by doing this. Yeah, maybe something like this. Let's see if that intuition was right. I'm not really liking necessarily this flow, you know, but again, iteration is key. This is good enough. Okay, and now this feels like it should be over here. Okay. And look at that. By doing that, we actually resolved it this way. So the intuition that I had was correct. And again, Shift-N, bring back that. And that kind of looks okay. Of course, it needs some adjustment. So let's make that happen with O. Okay, something like that. And something like that. Okay, that is looking fine. Yeah. Not perfect at all. That is not the correct curvature, but it's just good enough to move forward. For about a minute. I'm gonna reactivate clipping. Bring things out a tiny bit. Okay, press A. 1. And then I am gonna go out into the object mode and create for myself a new material once again. Actually not. Actually, this is the same file where we have the other coffee maker. So I'm gonna recycle for the moment this material. This one clearly has a very different texture on the handle. Look at that. But we will save that for another moment. And then I'm gonna recycle the valve that I have created in the previous video. I'm gonna bring it into my collection, and remember that we talked about collections in video number 4, and then I am gonna hide this back. And now that I have this one here, I am going to position it over here. And the way I'm gonna go about this is this. So this one probably needs to come at an angle like this. Let's see if it's centered. It is not. So an item, and let's see, y should be 0. And then I'm gonna fix it from this perspective. That looks good, like this. And then it is, well, I guess it would depend on how you screw this thing in every single time. But to give it a little bit of realism, it would be very weird if it's perfectly aligned. You would need to be a very OCD person to align it perfectly like that every single time. So what we're gonna do is go to the 3D cursor, which is this one. Remember, Z, R, Z, and I'm gonna rotate it, I guess, like over here. That kind of looks good. A little bit like our reference image. And we are going to call it a day. So this is totally a comprehensive review of everything we have covered so far. As you can see, there's so much repetition. It boils down to the usual few commands: move, scale, rotate, add a loop, take away a loop, match some faces. It's more of the same. It's all about practicing it and sort of developing a mindset for it, I would say. And with time, it becomes more natural. So that is the key, that not only with repetition, every time you repeat something, the 3D model gets better, but also you become better at it and it becomes easier to approach problems. And at the same time, it is a difficult job. There is always some amount of struggle. There is always the possibility to make some mistakes, and then you have to go back and redo things, and that is fine. And yeah, I'm gonna stop my rant here, and I hope this was useful. I hope that this helps consolidate what we covered so far. If it has not clicked yet, do not worry. Trust the process. I keep saying this. Trust the process. It's all gonna come together. The important thing is that you keep having fun, because if you keep having fun, you will stay engaged. You will not give up on learning this. And once again, this is like an instrument. At the beginning, it's super frustrating, but then when you master it, it's just so rewarding. And so now we're gonna move on to some more exciting things, like how to properly set up a 3-point lighting system, how to make some procedural materials that don't look, well, as basic as this one. As you can see, between this one and a realistic looking material, there is still some gap. And then we're going to take a look at how to make some animations. Okay, so this was the 25th video. That's awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.